This is a workflow video on how to add new references to the Zotero online database. In particular, at the moment I'm working on the suggested reading list, but this would apply to any articles that you find online that you want to add to one of our Zotero groups. So to start with, I'm here on the Philasa site because I'm adding their reports at this point, and I am down to this one called Principles and Practice in Ethical Review of Animal Experiments. So I'm going to open that one in a new tab. And then once it's open, I'm looking for the DOI number. If that's not there, you can look up the article itself. Sometimes it's present in PubMed. But if you've got the DOI or the PubMed ID, you want to copy that. Then you go over to the Zotero database, and you'll notice here that I have to have the desktop version of Zotero open and running in order for this to work, but I'm doing all of this work from the web version. So here is the open web version. I've got it at the moment open on ECLAM Learning References, and I'm going to click on this little magic wand icon that says Add by Identifier. That opens up a field, and I just paste in the DOI. Notice that you don't want the HTTPS or any kind of prefix. You just put the number in. It will find it and add it automatically. And because I'm in alphabetical order, it'll highlight it. So you can see here that it's correctly brought in all of the authors and all of the information, including the URL to access it. It oftentimes does not add the abstract or the summary. So I'm going to go back here, in this case, to the Philasa website and copy the synopsis and paste that over in Zotero in the abstract area, just so that people have a little bit more to search on. The next thing I want to do is go to the tags area, and usually there are no tags, so I want to add one. In this case, the article is on our suggested reading list, so I've created a tag for suggested reference list, and I'm going to add that. Sometimes I will also add species and things like health monitoring and things like that. In this case, Principles and Practice in Ethical Review of Animal Experiments, I might create a tag called Ethical Review. And then you can also add a note. So, for example, if some of the Philasa guidelines are outdated, and if that's the case, then I'll add a note to that effect. But in this case, they're not outdated, so I'm going to leave it at that. The next thing I do is I check to see if any of our ECLAM diplomates or residents are authors of this, and in this case, Dr. Zeller, I believe, is. And so I'm going to want to add this article. Walter Zeller is his name. I'm going to want to add this article to our ECLAM Diplomates and Residents database as well. So you can see that the new reference has been added into the ECLAM Learning References article. Now that I'm sure I've got all of the information, I'm going to click on that and drag it first into the Official Reading List 2021, which is a subfolder of ECLAM Learning References, and then I'm going to click and drag it also into the group called ECLAM Diplomates and Residents. So that's all you need to do. Now I go back here, I close that window, and I go on to the next reference. So that's the workflow.